Alright, children. Welcome back. As if you can't tell, I feel kind of like shit. So, no, I have not caught the 2019 NCOV, or otherwise known as the 2019 novel coronavirus. Fun little anecdote. I'm actually allergic to dogs and cats. Well, I love my pupper. I love my pupper very much, and I've been living with dogs for a very long time, so I've developed sort of an immunity. Well, I took a huff of particularly light and floofy down fur from her undercoat that she's been shedding on and off throughout our fucked up southern winter season. And a bit of it got lodged in my left nostril, way back in the tender region. In the attempt to sneeze it out, my sinuses got inflamed and then infected. So, yeah, now I sound kind of like shit, because I got a really hoarse throat from all the coughing and hacking. So I can't tell if I'm trying to hack up phlegm or if I'm trying to hack up an inflamed part of my throat. Don't worry, I'm taking medicine. If I don't start feeling better by the end of this weekend, I'm going to go see the doctor and get prescription strength medicine. But with that being said, I'm sure you all saw the title of the video. Oh shit, I should totally mention. Fucking stay, god damn it. Audio is going to be a little bit weird, by the way. My mount broke. The thing that holds my cell phone to my little rig. And, well, shit. I found a way to make it work. It's jank as fuck, so the video's gonna be really horrible. But I found a way to make it work. God, I really hope I'm talking over the music enough. Let me just turn it down a bit. I kinda hate when it fades in and out and I can't fix it. Anyhow, back to what you all came here for. The Shower Singer and the Tipsy Dunmer Pro. So yes, I got these from China. No, again, I do not have the 2019 NCOV. I haven't received anything from China in the past 30 days, nor have I contacted anyone in blah 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 blah. I live in the States. It's not an issue here. And to the best of CDC's knowledge, based on other coronavirus's behavior, the coronavirus should not, in all applicable theory, stay viable on our wonderful wrapped packages in even optimal conditions. And this is kind of a Hail Mary for more than about 4 or so hours. So, yeah, I'm honestly not too worried about it. However, if some of you are, and you're like me, you much rather be safer rather than sicker, get a spray bottle with 91% IPA, or isopropanol, otherwise known as isopropyl alcohol. Lightly spritz everything, including the in-ear monitors, including the tips except for the foams. The foams you can wash with mild dish detergent. No alcohols. That will degrade the memory foam. But I got these in today, and today is January 31st, 2020. And I have not listened to these yet. So, let's do a sick boy A magically sick boy unboxing. We'll save the big boys for last. So recently I reviewed the shower tapes. The shower tapes I really quite enjoyed. However, I don't have them here to reference, as I already sent them to David. He's got his own weird initial setup on it, and he's not quite sure. He's got his thoughts and opinions, but those are not mine to share. But the shower singer was brought to my attention thanks to Armchair Audiophile. Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it. He's already gotten his. I have talked to Intuit Reviews, and he's ordered his as well, and it's looking like it's going to be some months. He ordered it off of Amazon because there was a coupon available, and hey, when money's tight, money's tight. I get it. I did not receive this for discount. I did use a gift card that was given to me by Linsoul as compensation for some orders going horribly awry. I also used $10 worth of points that I had saved up and paid for the rest, including expedited shipping. So fun fact, in the States, at least in the South, the tracking's really fucked up. Like, it's really bad, and it's spotty. It was estimated to maybe hit here sometime next week, like Wednesday. And then all of a sudden, like, just as I'm getting off of work, 9-10 a.m., graveyard shift, don't forget. I get the notification that this little sumbitch is out for delivery. Who fucking raw, right? I may or may not reshoot this, depending on how bad the quality is. If you're hearing this now, obviously I decided to keep it. If I cough and the audio cuts out, it's because I've coughed or something like that. I'll go into sporadic coughing fits. It's kind of fucking gnarly. Anyhow, right, sorry, this is probably going to be like a good 6 or so minutes in, and you just want to see me open this thing and stop talking. So, let's pull the music up a little bit, and I'll try to talk above it. I'm keeping an eye on the audio monitor on my cell phone here, the V50, as I'm recording in manual mode. It's not too bad. It's drowning me out a little. It'll be very present, but it shouldn't be super duper bad. I sound like shit, though. Oh, before we get going, check it out. So, thanks to Intuit, sent me some info that I forwarded to Armchair. And he mentioned this in his tape review. His singer review, or initial impressions. It is not an electrostatic. It's like a hybridization between an electret and kind of like a planar. The technical name is magnetostatic. You can find it online. It also has another weird balanced armature sounding name from another company, but you know, the hell ever, right? They were both dual drivers, hybrids, instead of a 10mm. From the tapes, this one has an 8mm. And this one is also using it. They call it an electrostatic. Again, it's magnetostatic, if I'm not mistaken. The cable is a 1.25 meter monocrystalline copper, so it is a OCC cable. We get a 20 to 30K frequency range, really low distortion, less than 0.8%, probably at 1 kilohertz, 32 resistance, 32R or 32 ohms, plus or minus 2 at 1 kilohertz. The color is Gongqing. Gongxing. I know that's a Q, but it's Chinese. I don't know. Kuma, tell me if I said that shit wrong. You get a leather storage box. It's very nice. Silicone ear tips, low frequency filter, and the low frequency filter is additional. The stock is just no filtration, just the normal punch out wax filter. Some memory tips that feel pretty decent, actually. Neutral silicone ear tips. Oh, so different softness to them. That's pretty cool. And it is a 2.5 millimeter balanced cable, and it does come with a 2.5 balanced to 3.5 single-ended. So I've already opened these up and gone through everything and spritzed it all with the IPA, and then just let it dry for the past 4 hours. I didn't like hose it, just sprayed it down. Really simple and easy. Now there was a little cover thing on there, no idea why. That just simply pulls out. You get some type of a service card, or to get to their site, you get warranty card information. There is nothing under here. You open up this lovely flap, and everything is bagged. So these, I think, are the neutral tips. They've got a thinner stem on the nozzle attachment bit. 2 pairs of, I mean, check that shit out. Oh, damn. That is really slow, and I would imagine the warmer it gets, the rebound magnitude force has got to be really super comfy. These are the other filters. Upon initial inspection, it looked like that there was nothing different about them, but there is indeed a micro mesh filter of some kind behind the little punch plate that they have here on the exterior. These, I believe, are the softer tips. They have a much thicker material there, maybe by, fraction of a millimeter. Comes with silica gel. Keep your silica gel in your case. That's good for them. Okay, that sounds loud. Oh, shit, moved in. Okay. You may hear me vape every now and again. I've got a menthol mix and a double mint mix. It helps loosen up all the phlegm and stuff. Cool sciencey shit. But that's the box. Save that for Dave, because he likes the boxy thing, because his viewers give him shit. No worries. So, first thing out of the gate, and I'm going to assume they also used OCC, or monocrystalline copper, same shit. Possibly Litz. This is really, really stiff. Really stiff, and from what I understand, that's actually a sign that something is litzed or enameled, isolated. And looking at it, yeah, they look pretty well separated. It's got a decent heft, mostly aluminum. Yeah, had to blow the damn nose. Really lovely case. It says leather, so... Oh, wow. If that's pleather, it's very good smelling pleather. Smells like shoe grade leather. Probably from the dyes or the conditioners. Looks like the zipper is designed to be weather resistant. That's actually pretty badass. Oh, cool. It's already got silica gel in there. I forgot about that. Okay. I'll put that back in the box later. These are bullet style. And they did something good. Good for me. I like this because it's easier to fix this in an oh shit moment. These are using a 0.78 millimeter 2-pin configuration, B-pin configuration, 2-pin interface. These little shells, holy shit, they are heavy. Nice little wording, beautiful, beautiful, deep, metallic blue color, like oceanic blue. You have your left-right indicator. You have a baby blue or a sky blue on the back, maybe almost turquoise-esque. Bit of a clear coat. Get red over here. The positive and negative are written down on... There we go, you can see it now. on the body, and you just match it to the color-coded dot for left and right. Boop, just like that. The nozzles unscrew as so, and during the review I will do my best to pull up my magnifying glass and show off what the different filters look like. The two different nozzles. That has got such an insane tip retention lip on it. Holy crap, that is bitey. I'm both happy and a little upset that there is no memory wrapping here, no memory sleeving. It's good because I've actually found that stuff like FIO cables are a massive pain in my ass. They are unfucking comfortable. And they tighten the weave up here. And it's nice and loose, relatively straight. I mean, it's really the only qualm I have so far is the nozzles feel like they want to move a bit, but I bet you could use a little bit of Teflon tape, just a really thin strip, two ply probably, if even that, and it should stay on there just fine. The anti-tangler, while I wrap it up, or although I didn't mention it in the tapes, was really stiff on the tapes, so much so that I would try to unweave it. This is significantly better. Significantly smoother. Love it. The cable feels great to the skin. Light. The jack feels... it has a decent heft to it, and I like that it's angled. So if you have a balanced device, you have an angled setup already. And boom, there you go. Or if you're using adapters, you can get a really cool sort of double T joint going on here. I like that. I like both of these very much. I will be giving my impressions on these here after I am finished unboxing. I'll quickly go through at least both of the filters and find a set of tips that make me happy. Probably the stocks. The stocks look like they'll fit just fine. The tips are a significant upgrade versus the tapes on these. And that's amazing because these are like $75. Yeah, they're $75. They're cheaper than the tapes. And they feel significantly more solid. They don't look nearly as cool. Like, I kind of like that weird robotic, industrial sort of look to it. Almost cyberpunky. Almost, you know, without all the neon and shit. It is so hard to resist coughing. God. Coughing. It just sends my throat into a shit fit. So let's do that. And boop. I will set you all off to the side. Alright. Now the big boy. So, on this, I received this in a way for free, but in another way, no, I totally paid for part of it. It was not through the normal deal. Part of the gift card that I used to pay for the singers was from a past order. So, fun fact, I'm not getting the Sumgarch and I'm not getting the ZSX. And due to the length of time, they had given me 3 options. You know, we can send you this, refund that, refund the entire order, or we can, you know, work something else out. So I fired back my terms of, we could just go ahead and refund the entire order and I'll order something on there when I get time and the money. They also mentioned a gift card. I said, you know, don't worry about that. I'll take the gift card and the whole refund, or you can give me this as with my normal reviewer's discount that I am given per Lillian. It would come out to, I would be losing a little bit, but we could just call it even Steven and not worry about anything else and just call it a fair trade. Or we could do a third option, which they didn't take, which is perfectly understandable. It was overkill, but You can't blame a wizard for trying, can you? To their credit, not only did they send me the Tipsy Dunmer Pro as per our agreement, they also still sent me the gift card as further apology. And yeah, okay, it took 2-3 months to get this all squared away, and the fact that a holiday hopped up in the middle did not help. They're a very small team, but they're a very damn dedicated team, so if you're having problems, please just give them time. I normally don't have the kind of patience, but because they're willing to go so far out of their way and they give so much of a shit, I mean, they're even setting up a DHL shipping program to make return shipping for RMAs or returns significantly easier, significantly cheaper. I actually had to do that for my DX160. The volume knob stopped working, and they sent me the shipping label. And because it was, they took for a while, they went ahead and granted that one to me on the house just as a further, we're sorry for this shit that happened. But normally it'll be for a monetary fee, and then you'll get that deposit back. The terms are online. You can find it on their website. But point is they give a shit. I understand the thought process behind China is they don't. But it seems like our head fight community, especially Linsoul, legitimately gives a shit. They really fucking care. So that's how I got the Dunmer Pros. Special shout out to Krabos, that's his Discord username, the gentleman from Prime Audio Reviews. I got this on his recommendation because I'm one of those crazy nut jobs that believes or has experienced augmentation in the sound, the response, the sound coming off of the drivers with different cables. And I'll do a whole video about that later, including my process. I may just make a stream of it so that I can also be questioned on some things and further on rather than just being a salty son of a bitch. But the long story short, he said this was kind of like the entry gate to the TOTL systems in beginning to hear these different changes, the really subtle things. We're not talking like a PEC or an EQ, or, you know, we're not talking about that. Subtle, slight, very nuanced changes. It's like I would say it's more subtle than an amp, and about as subtle as a different DAC, going from one to the other to the other. If you don't believe those have different sounds, well, sorry, I'm one of those guys. I'm not going to tell you to buy a super fancy cable because of its super fancy properties. I will mention that as a bonus, but if it's built well, so on and so forth, like the new Hulk, $300, that's a lot. Yeah, I get it. But it saves me money. There's a shitload of interconnects on that, and it's built like a fucking tank. I know you're screaming at me. Right, let's do what I did before. God, that is tiny handwriting. 105 at 1 dB sensitivity. 1 kilohertz. 16 ohms at 1 kilohertz. Jesus. 2 BAs, 1 dynamic, 20 to 20K, 3.5 millimeter gold-plated jack, 0.78 millimeter 2-pin, sweet, 1.2 meter cable, rather pretty looking graph as well. Beautiful looking IEMs, if I do say so myself. Feeling a bit tipsy. I kind of know the feel. Tipsy life. This is beautiful. Little gold printing on a nice little sheet. It has tipsy down here. One-sided, that's just the bleed through. Beautiful IEMs. And again, when I got these, I did not listen to them, not for fear of the 2019 NCOV, but because I wanted to do the unboxing first and then do the initial impressions because these were packaged so beautifully. Look at that. Damn, that is gorgeous, isn't it? Solid B-pin configuration, 2-pin interface. No interchangeable filters. It just goes straight into a slight embossing, or not embossing, embossed lip. Wide bore tip. Ooh, that is a stiff boy. Is that? It looks like it was trying to do a half-assed copycat of the Spinfits, but super wide bore. It's almost as wide as the fine punch mesh on the nozzle filter. That comes out nice and steady. Beautiful fabric cord cable. The anti-tangler, while I wrap it up, it's a bit loose, but it's not nearly as bad or as useless as the Form 1.1s. That one was just shit on a brick. Aluminum here. Let's see. Oh, check that out. I'll be damned. They're not exactly the same per IEM per side. There's a little bit of variance, because one of their claim to fame is they're handmade. You probably saw it on the box while I was rambling on like a jackass. Really like this. I don't know how many cores, or I don't know how many strands, but it's a dual core. One sleeved and goes into each side. There may be a set of micro cores in there, but I highly doubt it. Extremely heavy jack, like a nice weighty, great feeling jack. I can't actually wait to hear all of my cables on both of these IEMs. I really like how they packed the tips. This is beautiful. How the fuck do I open this? So you've got additional tips, a medium and a large, and a set of foamies. Kind of similar. Maybe slightly different formula versus what is in the Singer. A little manual thing, a little bit of English, a little bit of not English. One of the thickest, boy, most beautiful feeling chamois. I mean, that screams fucking quality. And at what is it, $180, $190? Damn well better. Sorry this video is rambling on. Me not feeling so awesome is not helping at all, I'm sure. I don't know what kind of material that is. Smells kind of like neoprene. So probably water resistant to some extent. Really angry. And that's just a metal snapper. That does not feel magnetic at all. That's like a little spring metal. Yeah, looks like neoprene. I will go ahead and put that gorgeous damn chamois in there. And the tips. And I will be back shortly. I'm going to have a quick little listen on my Farsil 2 Pro, and DX3 Pro is going to be my DAC of choice. And I'll see you all in a little bit. Really quick before I actually transition over. Love this new Fantasia jack, or Geekria, I can't remember. I'll try to link to them. 2.5 millimeter to fucking 6.3 millimeter, dude. Yes. Okay, now I'm actually gonna go listen. So that was a hell of a listening session. I really need to find whoever the hell makes these tips and buy like a bitch ton of them. That's a measurement, trust me. So these, my favorite cushy tips, squishy squish, mooshy moosh. These tips work amazingly well on pretty much 90 98% of the IEMs I put them on. Even these fat bore motherfuckers here. So we'll start with initial impressions over on the side of the shower tape first, as it's less expensive, while I try to jam this fucking tip back on. For the love of God, Tipsy, Jesus, to all IEM companies out there, fucking please get appropriately fitting and appropriately snug, but not fucking good and tight. German Virgin style tips for your fucking oversized bores on your IEMs. Goddamn. Fuck. Okay. So, initial impressions on the Singers. Shit. Like what, 75, 80 bucks? I almost want to call it now. I'm not gonna lie. For that price, for the amount of tips, for the cable, for the adapter, for the two filters, the base filter might be going against what is. It's not that it filters out bass. It's not a bass attenuator. It is a bass biased filter. It rolls off some of the more potentially, because these can get shouty, not nearly to the extent that the tapes can get, not initially anyway. But those bass filters, if you are just not a treble fan, but you really want to experience magnetostatic, shit. Fuck, I'm gobsmacked at how impressive these are. Just like Armchair said, to me, initial thoughts anyway. They are somehow fucking lighter. Excuse me, I'm gonna blow my nose. I don't even know why I warned y'all. The more I cough, the more the nose wants to run, the more it propagates the issue. But, fuck. Initial impressions are to skip the tapes entirely and just prioritize the singers if you want to get on this bandwagon. So far, I am liking a lot of what I'm hearing. And on second look, this might actually be white, but the blue overcoat might be what's making this blue. I digress. The tip selection is superb. The filters are great. The only thing I can find a little bit wonky is they want to undo themselves. So some Teflon tape will make an easy fix of that. Someone find me the vendor for these tips. Everyone should try these. These are perfect TWS IEM tips. They work great on wide bore, semi-wide bore, to even not super narrow, not shore style bores, but like a good 3.5 millimeter, maybe 4 millimeter bore. Excuse me. But so far, I'm gonna have to spend some good time. There might be a really interesting review coming out, or a discussion on this coming out between Armchair Audiophile, Intuit Reviews, and myself, of course. So jump in the Discord. Jump in the Discord and stay up to date. That's the easiest way to do it. We always, all three of us, even David, all constantly interact with everyone, and it's a wonderful, beautiful community, so keep your eyes out on that. We're trying to set some shit up. So you have me, who has had the tapes and has sent them off to someone else. You have someone that has both still, armchair, and you have someone that's going to be getting his first run into these. Into it. We might even bring in Dave just to get a perspective of the magnetostatic driver and his thoughts on just the tapes. Maybe, possibly. I'll talk that over with them, see what they all think. On to the Tipsy Dunmer Pro. So initially it was really sibilant and harsh, and it's a BA system. It seems like the magnetostatic, the way it's implemented, can be shouty, too copious in the treble, whereas BAs seem to have a natural peaky issue, where the S on a sibilant sound, when the S is a sibilant sound in the mix, it can be far more presented. When I switched to the medium tips, it seemed like part of it was a seal issue, so I just needed to get a better seal. It did roll that down a bit more. Mids on both of these are surprisingly well present. This one's far more forward in the mids versus that. This one has a cleaner separation of treble. Again, initial thoughts, not an actual review, just initial. I cannot hammer that in enough. This one did some really weird shit. Like T180 weird, not like the same sound as the T180 from AudioSense, but like how the T180 did just weird shit. This is doing some weird, cool shit. Copious amounts of bass. That 2mm smaller 8mm versus the 10mm, the singer to the tapes on the dynamic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure bass heads would be fucking happy, because I'm fucking really happy. It's not quite as resolute as this one. This one on Snova, I could hear the little wobbles and warbles as the bass rolls going on. This one, not as present, but I don't know, I might need to break them in, and that might fine-tune some of the little eccentricities and the minutia that these things can put out, and allow them to move and flex more freely. So this, the Dunmer Pro, may actually end up becoming more sloppy. And not just more sloppy, it could also add on to the fact that it is less copious in the amplitude of the amount of bass, like the sheer oomph that it has. It reaches both of these reach impressively deep initially. This one sounds like it might just need a good solid break-in to give it more finesse in the highs and the lows. This one sounds like it needs a break-in to calm the BAs way the fuck down. The foam tips help out a lot, but they only include one size. So I may go tip hunting for maybe a small, because that bore's got to be like a 5mm, maybe 5.2mm bore. It's huge. It's very fucking uncomfortable. But a good solid break-in might calm the BAs down and loosen up the actuation of the dynamic. It might just allow it to extend a bit further along its X-Max travel, and maybe increase the amplitude of the bass. Maybe. I don't know. So we'll just call this 80 for the sake of argument. You know, tax and all that. Not including shipping. And this is like a good 190. Maybe we'll just call it 200 rounding up for tax and all that other fun shit. I get why they charge that much. It screams quality and attention to detail. The crossover sounds great. That crossover sounds pretty good too. It may not even have a crossover. It may just be like sort of a coaxial sort of system. Oh, pardon me. But I get why they're charging that much, and initially, I can kind of agree with it. Again, I cannot hammer this enough. This is not a review. This is just an unboxing and initial impressions, and I was impressed with both of these, very much so. Which one is the better buy? I can't say. There's always caveats, but I can say both of these did excite me to some degree or another, and made me very happy to own them to some degree or another. So time will tell. We'll see where I go. So that's pretty much it for the video, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm sorry if this is going to be too painful for everyone to listen to. If demand is enough, then I can redo the... I mean, I guess I could just redo the whole thing. It would suck. But I could try my best. If y'all are okay with the way this sounds, then awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah. Join the Discord, please. The community is absolutely awesome. I love all of you. Y'all have been wonderful, wonderful people to me. And to each other. It's amazing. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'll just go ahead and call it. Have a beautiful morning. Have a beautiful morning. A lovely afternoon. Fuck, that's hard. Let's try pressing the throat. Have a beautiful morning. A lovely afternoon. And a pleasant evening. May you rest well and not get the hell cough that I have. And rejuvenate in your sleep. May you travel far and wide within the realm of your dreamscape, my children. As long as it leads you back to me, your favorite, the great wizard, Farsil. Ready, set, poof.